You are now listening to The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Kahlil on the One Podcast Network. Let's get it.
From NJ to BK in the world, this is The Box Out here on the One Podcast Network. My name is Kahlil Thomas. Joining me in a few minutes will be Jason Kahlil from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you so much for watching, whether you're watching live right now or watching the replay at a later date. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. This is our annual NBA trade deadline show. Our show happens on Thursdays, and it always happens around trade deadline day because I love it. It's a great day. This day, the NBA draft show we have, that's 2 hours long. This continuously moves on. Our two big nights. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Our opening tip tonight, obviously, trade deadline. There's a lot to get to. A lot of the big moves happened earlier in the week. So we're going to get to those in a second. But I want to get to the move that did not happen, which was almost said James Harden. He got traded. Giannis not being moved from Milwaukee. That's our opening tip. And honestly, the longer this dragged on, I think myself, I think Jason, I think a lot of people assumed that he wouldn't be traded, that Milwaukee was kind of slow walking it. And you had teams, you had the Knicks, you had the Warriors, you had Miami. I think the Minnesota T-Wolves were in that mix as well, regarding picking up Giannis and bringing him in, trading whatever they needed to trade to bring Giannis to their team. And it just seemed like, as it went on, they kind of just like, but what about this? And there were offers being made, and then there were counter offers being made, and there's counter offers being made back to Milwaukee. Milwaukee would counter with something else. So as the kind of week progressed, and you were hearing that there were still conversations, and remember this: the Knicks were, quote unquote, in an exclusive negotiating window with Milwaukee to get Giannis. Obviously, that didn't happen. So now we've come to Thursday. All day. Is he going to go? Is he going to go? Is he going to go? No one really knew what the situation was. And it came down early in the day that Giannis wasn't going anywhere, that it was not going to go down. And honestly, I'm not surprised, because I felt like they were dragging their feet and almost trying to see what they can get, find an offer that was going to wow them, find an offer that was going to be like, oh my God, this is great. They didn't get that. But in the same breath, I felt like they were trying to play the market out, see what the market is right now, and kind of look ahead for the summer, because the summer is when people's draft positions. More draft picks open up. Guys who could opt out may opt back in to be part of a trade. So you could have a sign and trade. You could have a 3-team trade with a couple sign and trades in there. It's a lot easier to move someone during the summer than it is to move them at the trade deadline. If you really want to move someone and get the maximum amount of value, the summer's probably the time to do it, not February at the trade deadline. So Milwaukee's going to hold on to Giannis for now. It just seemed like just like a cluster of activity that just kind of, they were talking and other teams were talking and everyone seemed excited, and then nothing happened. It was just like, oh, cool. That's so you guys aren't interested. So you don't want to trade them. Okay. So you don't want, you want to hear our offer. Okay. Here's our offer. Okay. You have a counter. Okay. Give us your counter. Okay. Good counter. Here's what we're going to come back with. Oh, great. Okay, cool. But you don't want them. You want them. You want to keep them. You're going to try to build a contender. What? Okay. And I feel like a bunch of teams probably said, fuck it. We're out. Like, what are we doing here? So Milwaukee stays a buck for the time being. The saga ends finally. Like, I know as a Knicks fan, I kind of wanted him up to like last week. We'll talk about the Knicks in a second because they made a move their own. It made me kind of rethink it with the way they've been playing. Like, do we really want to shake this up as drastically as it would have to happen for the Knicks to get someone? Not just the Knicks. I'm talking Knicks as a Knicks fan, not just the Knicks, Minnesota. Golden State was willing to mortgage everything they had to get Giannis. It's such a monumental move. It's also a monumental move to make it happen for the team making the trade with Milwaukee. It is a chemistry move that if you're playing well, do you want to kind of scramble up the chemistry a little bit and hope that it works? I'm not sure they were ready to do that. I'm not sure that Milwaukee wanted to do that. I'm not sure I'm sure, actually, flip that. I'm sure Milwaukee didn't care about the teams that we're trading with. I think the Knicks winning 8 in a row kind of had them settle down and go, wait a second, maybe we shouldn't do this. I think Minnesota looked at who they had to give up, and they went, nah. Golden State was all in, and I think Golden State kind of called bullshit on this last night when they made their trade to get Porzingis, which we will completely talk about in a second. I think Golden State snuffed this out and said, they're not serious. We're not doing this. So Giannis is still in Milwaukee. Bruce, what's going on? Giannis is sanctimonious and a phony in English and in Greek. You're not wrong. This could have been done already. This could have been taken care of, and they kind of just. I think, and it's funny because on ESPN they had their trade deadline show, which they always have, and Brian Windhorst was like, Giannis has been kind of wishy-washy this whole time about what he wants and what he wants to do and where he wants to go and what he wants to accomplish. So it seems as if he never really he never came out and said, quote unquote, I want out of here. I think he kind of said, guys, I think it might be time to kind of cut the cord, but didn't actually come out and say, I want to be traded. That never happened. So you have Giannis who's kind of straddling both sides of the fence going, yeah, we'll be okay to get traded, but I really love Milwaukee. My family's here. Like we set up shop here in Milwaukee. Either you're in or you're out, Giannis. I think this is where we are right now. Either you're in Milwaukee or you're out of Milwaukee. You can't have it both ways. You can't go and say, okay, hey, I like it here, but, we're not really competitive. But, my family's here, but we don't really have a lot of players, and it's just kind of me right now. But, the fans are really great here. Now, you can't talk both sides of your mouth. And I think Giannis, in order to not be that guy, has been doing that. And I think that's the problem right now. So Giannis is staying put. Yeah, Giannis probably didn't want. I think I don't want to shit on Giannis at all. But I can see why he would be conflicted, right? I think he made a big deal about being a one-team guy. Right? Think about sports today. You don't have a lot of one-team players playing for one franchise for the whole career, and that's it. You don't have that. So I think for him, especially winning the title in Milwaukee and not collecting his, not collecting those stones like LeBron does all the time. It was him. It was Chris Middleton. It was Jrue Holiday, Brook Lopez. I would say Bobby Portis. I'll say that. Those aren't superstars. Chris Middleton is not a superstar. Bobby Portis is not a star. Brook Lopez is not a star. Jrue Holiday is not a star. You had Giannis, and then you had, it's like James Brown and his band. I don't know what the name of the band was when he kind of broke off and they made James Brown his own individual person. But it was James Brown and the other guys. And that's what it was. And the other guys, Middleton hit his shots. Jrue Holiday played tight defense. Brook Lopez played somewhat good interior defense and hit threes. Bobby Portis was the dog. It just all kind of worked. He wanted to go, but he did want the Bucks fans on his neck, like the Cavs. See, and if he did get traded, and I think that's probably a reason why he didn't come out and say, I want out. I don't think the fans of Milwaukee would care as much. because it wasn't like it wasn't acrimonious. It still hasn't been. You think about any situation where a guy's traded or reportedly asked for a trade or blah blah blah. It's always been this really mean and just angry end to it. Even if he was traded today or yesterday or this week, I felt like it wouldn't have been that way from him, from the organization, and from the fans. He brought the fans a championship. The fans know how much he wants to be there and how much he loves Milwaukee. I think the fans also know, hey, he wants to win, and we ain't doing it here. Not right now. As much as Milwaukee wants to go out and say, well, if we tank, because the word is now they might hold him out for the remainder of the season. One, for him not to get hurt again, and two, to essentially tank the season. Their rationale might be, and this came from Shams earlier, if we lose enough games to get and hit pay dirt in a draft lottery, we have a 1 or number 2 or number 3 overall pick. Maybe we can draft, AJ DeBonza out of BYU, pair him up with Giannis, even though it's the same guy, so it probably wouldn't work. Or we could trade the pick, get someone bigger, and then rebuild it around you. I think before they even make a trade in the summer, they're going to go like, we have this pick that is a lottery ticket. Either we turn it in or we can give it away. But if you give it away, we can get something else for you right now. I think this is where this conversation is going to go. He played the market to see how bad he's wanted him and see what the market would give up for him. It was his ego. I think it was more Milwaukee's ego. Milwaukee just kind of playing other teams against each other with no real intention to trade him. They didn't want to trade Giannis. I don't think the money they bring in from Giannis merchandise, you look at the Milwaukee Bucks roster now, is there anyone on that team that's going to generate the amount of merchandise revenue that Giannis does? Absolutely not. I think the Milwaukee Bucks do not want to lose Giannis because they know what Giannis means to them, to the city, and to the bottom line. You got to keep the ticket season holders somewhat interested in what you're doing. And right now, they're not. It is a disaster right now. So I'm just curious to see how this all ends. It's going to end in the summer. Maybe. We'll see. Real quick, I'm going to start from the beginning because the action started early in the week. Jaren Jackson is traded from Memphis to Utah. I want to go over the whole trade. Memphis gets Kyle Anderson, Walter Clayton Jr., Taylor Hendricks, George Niang, who gets traded again. Niang gets traded a lot. And 3 future first-round picks. Utah gets Jaren Jackson Jr., John Conchar, Jack Lindell, and Vince Williams. Jaren Jackson was on the market along with John Morant. Jackson got out. John Morant's still there. For Memphis, the assumption was you trade Jaren Jackson Jr., you trade John Morant, you start all over again. Because the team is middling. The team, you look at a team that's probably in that anywhere in that 7 to 12 spot in the West right now. So you're not looking at a team that's going to compete for a championship or even like a deep run into the playoffs. So this is going to be the problem with Memphis. You traded Jaren Jackson and you gave him a crazy extension. So that's Utah's problem now. But you're still stuck with John Morant. And the market for John Morant was apparently nothing. According to sources, people were interested. People were like, oh, John Morant's on the market? Oh, cool. But no one made an offer because it's John Morant. Look at the last 3 years of John Morant's career, 3 years of his life. It's kind of a disaster and still kind of is. So you're looking at a situation where the talent of John Morant interests teams, but the man and player did not. As I welcome to Jason Corder. Jay, what's up, bro? Jay, you there? Oh, I think he froze. You gotta love live podcasting. Gotta love it. All right, I'll bring it back in a second. Memphis in this weird spot where you can't really. What is Memphis? Will they win? Will they not win? Are they good? Are they not good? What's the point? If Memphis, let me see if Jason's back. Nope, he's coming back. All right, cool. Live TV, gotta love it. So that's the Jaren Jackson trade. The other trade that happened Chicago, they traded Nikola Vucevic to Boston and a second-round pick. The Bulls get Anthony Simmons, which you kind of felt like was bound to happen, and a second-round pick. I want to talk about the Bulls for a second because I'm going to say this. The Bulls president of operations, Arturas Karnisovas, I have a soft spot for this man because he played at Seton Hall. He growing up in New Jersey. I love Seton Hall. Still love Seton Hall. Karnisovas, Terry DeHare, Luther Wright. Those are my three from Seton Hall. Karnisovas was one of those three guys that I grew up watching for Seton Hall basketball. He's not a vice president of Operation Chicago. They made a lot of trades. I want to tell you who they gave away and who they got back. And then read the quote from Karnisovas about what they did. And I quote, "Being in the middle is what we don't want to do. We've seen that for the past 4 years, and we want to change that." The Bulls deconstructed their roster in a few days, trading away top scorer Kobe White, leading rebounder Vucevic, key reserves Ayo Dosunmu, Kevin Huerter, and former draft picks Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips. In exchange, the Bulls received Jaden Ivey, Rob Dillingham, Colin Sexton, and Anthony Simmons, along with Leonard Miller, Nick Richards, and Gershon Yabusele from the Knicks. The quote was, "Being in the middle is what we don't want to do." So what are you doing? What's the end game here for the Bulls? Karnisovas did not refer to the Bulls as rebuilding, instead calling it tent poles of what they are prioritizing: youth, financial flexibility, and draft capital. So hold on, they get one of these. They get one of those. So you don't want to be in the middle, but you're in the middle. You trade away your leading scorer, leading rebounder, and guys who could play. Kevin Huerter still got some game. Kobe White was what you got. Like after you traded Zach LaVine, that's what you kind of had. Vucevic is the epitome of a big man who just likes to shoot and don't like to go down low, i.e. Karl Anthony Towns. We'll get to him later. But they traded Nikola Vucevic to the Celtics to get Anthony Simmons. The big trade that happened on the 3rd this week, the Clippers and the Cavaliers. Ladies and gentlemen, James Harden's on the move again. James Harden's leaving. James Harden goes to Cleveland. In exchange, the Clippers will get Darius Garland and a 2026 second-round pick. You're going to hear a lot of second-round pick talk in this show tonight because people are just trading away second-round picks like Pokemon cards at this point. There was an interview, not really an interview, but Ramona Shelburne from ESPN spoke to James Harden. And here's what James Harden said. In life, not even just basketball, when things don't work out, there are ways to end things in relationships without having to crack each other. Welcome to Jay. Jay, what's up, man?
Audio problems over here. It must have been all the Knicks movement.
Listen, I mean, not a ton of movement, but the one move I want to happen. We'll get to that. I went through a couple of moves already. I'm on the James Harden deal, and I'm reading about what he said to Ramona today. So he started with, okay, maybe we just don't see a future with each other. Maybe we just outgrew each other. Whatever the case may be, I feel like other situations weren't like that, and that's why I can respect Steve Ballmer, L, Lawrence Frank, and Ty Lue, or T. Lue, because they didn't put me in a weird position as much as everybody tried to make it like that. Harden said he didn't want to feel like I was holding up the Clippers in the future. I wanted them to actually have a chance to rebuild and get some draft capital. In Cleveland, I see an opportunity to win in the East. They have got a very good team. Coaching staff, all the above. So as much as I wanted to stay in LA and give it a go, I've never won one before. As a basketball mind, I think we have a better chance. The other part is he did say he did not ask for a trade.
I don't believe that.
So that was my point. I was going to ask you that. He said he didn't ask for one. They kind of made it happen. One, obviously, you answered my first question. You don't believe that. Two, who won this trade? Because I know you texted me and said, I think I fell asleep when you texted me.
Mm-hmm.
Garland makes the Clippers better. What does Harden do to Cleveland?
He gives them another scorer, but now that puts more pressure on your bigs because they don't rebound off those missed shots. It's off to the races on the other side because now you have a backcourt that don't defend. And if you add Schroeder coming off the bench, that's another non-defender. So again, you really putting more emphasis on the bigs to carry the load. I would have said Cleveland won this trade, but I like what the Clippers did today by getting Mathurin from
Indiana.
From Indiana, kind of like clearing the deck. So you got a younger, scorer, and you pair him with Garland. It's all about Kawhi and what they want to do in the future. But I think this gives the Clippers a little bit more flexibility going forward. Whereas it's win mode now for Cleveland, which I still think if you stack them up, they're still the third team in the East. They're not better than the Knicks and they're not better than the Pistons.
Yeah, I think the complaint with Garland is he's always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think the complaint with Harden is he doesn't come up big in big games. Now, Cleveland wants to play in big games, and the reports are saying that Mitchell said he does not want to come back and sign an extension with the team unless they make a deep run in the playoffs. Not win a championship. You don't care about the championship. Just go deeper than they have, which is weird to me hearing that. I'm not sure if Harden is the one to get them to that point. I think the team has constructed before wasn't going to get the job done. But I don't think Harden is going to be like, oh, my end all be all number one seed, they win the East. I don't think Harden's that type of guy anymore. If this was 6 years ago, Harden, I would say this move is huge. The Harden we see now, it's not the Harden that's going to push Cleveland to that next step. I don't see it. It might get them to a later round, but it's not going to get them to the final destination.
I mean, Harden's a guy, like, you look at the resume and you're like, yeah, he puts up a lot of. Harden is the guy that binge drinks. Well, has a lot of empty calories. He doesn't come up clutch in big moments, and he always escapes a challenge. Like, he always wants the easy road. He tried to do it in Philly. He tried to do it in Brooklyn. He tried to do it in Houston. But whenever the spotlight's on him, when they need him the most, that game 6, that game 7, he shows up flat. So I hope Donovan understands that as much as he wants a deep run. But again, do you think they're better than Boston? Do you think they're better than Detroit? Do you think they're better than the Knicks? I don't know. And then next year it gets worse because you got teams like Washington. I think it's going to be much better.
Mm-hmm.
Pacers are positioning themselves to make a 1-year leap next year. So it was like, I think Cleveland, I think their window is shrinking faster than a Harden clutch shot in a game 6 or 7.
Well, listen, I think back to when he was with Houston and Chris Paul got hurt in game 6, game 7. It was Harden. It was on Harden to win that game because Chris Paul was down and Harden no-showed. Mm-hmm. That's like you got to look at that and go, that's what we know. That's what we know of Harden. He crashes out in big games. Harden goes to other cities better than Spirit Airlines. I agree with that. Spirit is not a good airline. I would not ever fly Spirit.
Harden would be a great spokesman for Spirit or Frontier.
So we have to talk about Anthony Davis, the final remnant of the Nico Harrison fuck up from last year is officially done. Anthony Davis
crazy how
goes
quickly
to Washington.
He got traded.
Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum, who I still forget is on the team every time we talk about Dante Exum. Goes to Washington. Dallas gets a first-round pick and 3 second-round picks. I think we could categorically say Nico Harrison didn't know what the hell he was doing, and he's officially forgotten in Dallas Maverick history forever with the exit of Anthony Davis.
I mean, it's funny. Like, I think AD got more. I mean, Dallas got more for AD than Luka than with the Lakers. And that's enough. That's enough.
Washington threw in a first-round pick. The Lakers ain't do that.
No.
The Lakers like, nah, I ain't gonna be that. Okay, we'll take that too. It's amazing to see where this team. It's Cooper's flag team now. Cooper flag is this his squad. It's his thing
now.
Kyrie might come back this year. He might not, but it is Cooper flag team officially. So it's funny to see where Dallas is now, and to see that whole thing that we talked about and that everybody hated is now just like, oh well, that's over now, and Luka's gonna flourish in LA, kind of. And not until LeBron leaves. And then now you have nothing to show for losing a prime Luka Doncic.
Now imagine if they did not win that lottery and get flag. Whew.
It's insane where we are.
I know we are a basketball show, but speaking of bad GMs, I mean, what was more egregious? Letting Sam Donald walk out of Minnesota for nothing, or letting Luka go to the Lakers for somebody you did a half a season with?
I think Luka.
Generational talent, yeah.
AD is always disabled. Unfortunately, Washington is at best. Is a beast. White House newspaper and yeah. I mean, Washington Post, pour one out for them. No more sports in Washington Post ever again.
Oh, that was sad.
Sure. I'm writing a story about if sports journalism is dead based on what just happened this week. So I'm like, I think we're getting there.
It's on life support.
I think you and I got to keep it moving because I think we're getting to that point of
definitely on life support.
Sports journalism dying. Besides that, there wasn't anything other big until today when we had the trade from the Pacers to the Clippers. Zubac, Kobe Brown, they go to Indiana. The Clippers get Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 first-round picks, and the second-round pick. The first-round pick is protected 1-4 and 10-30, which is the weirdest protection I've ever seen on a draft pick in my life.
That means
if it falls between 5 and 9,
yeah,
it's yours. If it falls between 1 and 4 and 10-30, it goes to Indiana.
Well, that's going to keep an eye on those ping pongs.
I've never seen.
It's kind of like that with Washington and the Knicks, though, right? If Washington falls out of the top 8,
it's top 9. But
top 9.
But that's flat. That's like top 9. If it's out of top 9, you get the pick. I've never seen a team agree to 1-4, you can't get it. 10-30, you can't get it either. 5-9, all yours. We don't give a shit. I've never seen that protection before.
That's like what's that game when you can play Atlantic City where you can play on even odds, like craps. It's kind of like craps. It's like hey, listen, if it falls in here, you got a chance.
Like goddamn Uno. What the fuck are we doing? So Clippers get rid of Harden. They move Zubac. They still have Kawhi. I think they're going to move Kawhi. They're going to chat. They talked about that too. Are the Clippers saying it's time to blow it up?
It's a soft blow up, but I think in the summer it's the full scale down.
I'm just curious about. I think that the Kawhi aspiration thing is still kind of hanging over the team, and I almost feel like they know that they're going to lose some. They're going to lose a pick, and the NBA is going to fine them a shit ton of money. Almost has a listen. You told you once. Cut the shit out. Now you're doing it again. Now you're gonna be an example to everybody else who tries this shit. So I think they're kind of setting up for that.
Clear all this up before All-Star break, though. I'm surprised it's still lingering.
I think Adam Silver is going to talk about it real quick during All-Star weekend, probably, and I think we'll get a resolution towards the end of the season. I think, but I feel like the Clippers are kind of like trying to like sell off parts at this point. Just realize we're gonna lose some draft picks. So we have a draft pick, maybe between 5 and 9, but we're gonna lose ours. So we might this season gonna end badly. We're playing really well up to this point. Last 2 games we lost, but this is gonna end badly for them this season. And that lottery pick that should be theirs is not gonna be theirs. And they gotta start from scratch with nothing. And probably I'm under the impression that fine is gonna be upwards of $5 million.
I feel like low key, the Thunder won this trade deadline because the Clippers are back to being bad again. They get that pick, and they picked up old boy from Philadelphia, which I thought they kind of bailed on him pretty quickly too.
I'm curious on, like you said, this should be a layup situation. We know they circumvented it. Pablo Torre went to NBA offices, went to the law firm, and told them what he had. So automatically, there's something to it because Pablo Torre ain't messing around in this one, and Pablo Torre ain't trying to be brought on perjury charges. So he had his shit together. I feel like that they're blowing it up. Also, you got Harden, you got Kawhi. Was the window? I think the window is probably closed already, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they try to make a late run, getting to respectable 500 right now, but I think now it's back to 6-21.
Which, listen, God bless them. It happens.
It happens.
So we're 31 minutes into the podcast. We're finally going to talk about the Knicks. I've been talking about Jose Alvarado for weeks. As soon as I heard his name, I'm like, that's the guy I want. Because not his offense, we need more defense.
Need more defense. Yep.
Yeah. Last 8 games, defensive rating, tops in the NBA, but it could be better. Miles McBride went down. He's going to be out probably to the playoffs, probably the rest of the season. We don't know yet. He's having core surgery. They pick up Jose Alvarado for nothing, essentially. How big is this trade for them, especially for that bench unit that adds more defense to it?
Oh, it's huge. And like you said, what makes it better is like now you have another dog. You have a Josh Hart with a handle. So it's going to be, less pressure on Brunson. So I'm glad this happened after, well, it happened before the Deuce news came out, because then the Pelicans could have played hardball with us, but they didn't. It's a steal. I think now you're really going in 10 men deep. And now it's up to Mike Brown to figure out, the rotation. And maybe it slides it down to like an 8-man rotation, 9-man rotation coming forward. But now you have options, and that's something we never had. Not while we was doing this podcast. We never had options.
Jesus Christ, we never had options. I want to go back to a comment from my father. I agree that Washington be better. I don't know. I know you said
and Trae Young. We forgot about Trae.
Trae Young, Anthony Davis, Koulibaly, Sarr. I think everybody's big on Sarr. Sarr seems to be that guy. I don't see it. I see
not now. Next season, I think next season they'll be better.
I see a lot of street clothes for Anthony Davis.
For now,
I see Trae Young jacking up shots from 45 feet. I see D'Angelo Russell come off the bench if they keep him, because they could probably buy him out. If they keep him, I see him come off the bench, jacking up shots, not passing the ball. I see a lot of scoring. I see a lot of exciting games, but I see a lot of 140, 135 games in the Capital One Center or arena, whatever they call it. I'm not feeling it at all.
Not this season. Again, I see next season. The East will be better next season, because I think Washington, Indiana, and now you got to put some respect to Charlotte. Those are 3 teams that are definitely going to be vying for a top 6 next year.
So ESPN had their list of winners and losers, and the funny one I saw was loser, Utah Jazz ball movement. Lauri Markkanen, Ace Bailey, Keontae George, Collier, Nurkic, Kessler, Jaren Jackson Jr. Who's getting the ball? There's not enough basketballs to give to all these guys who need a basketball in their hand constantly. And Danny didn't try to trade anybody.
Because this is a result of, I want to say it's a result of Giannis. I feel like this is setting up for the sweepstake for Giannis in the summer, and everybody is making subjective moves now, but come in the summertime, they're going to put their chips out there and figure it out and present their best offer. And I think Utah is like, hey, we're not going to have no ball moving right now. But however, we got these blue chippers here that maybe we package it right. Milwaukee might want to do business with us. You don't see the vision.
Listen, Danny Ainge's vision, it's like mine. I wear my glasses and I don't see shit. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell the division of Danny Ainge is. Another loser in the trade deadline. Former Dallas Mavericks GM Nico Harrison.
Damn. He didn't have to do anything today.
Dallas traded to Apple Harrison's eye and Anthony Davis for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, and Marvin Bagley III, a 2026 first-round pick from the Thunder, likely number 30, a 2030 first-round pick for the Wizards, only if it lands in the 21 to 30 range, and 3 second-rounders. You literally traded Luka Doncic for Chris Middleton, 2 very useless first-round picks, and Max Christie.
I mean, for his sake, he better move to LA.
Maybe he better get a job with them. I know Pelinka probably hook him up because they boys. That's how they got the trade done. But I have no love. Like to this day, and I feel like people still kind of pile on to Nico.
Mm-hmm.
He completely deserves it. He completely deserves whatever shit he takes because he is atrocious. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like I don't. To this day, I'm still like, what? What happened? If you put Luka Doncic on a trade block, it would have been the biggest. You could have got a haul for that man, and instead you get what you get, and you even try to get more. Like that's my biggest issue to this day. You didn't try to get more for Luka Doncic, and now you have nothing to show for it.
Everyone will know his name. That's the only good thing he'll have to show for it.
What
is more alarming that Luka? This is year 2 now.
Yeah,
he was actually closer to a championship with Dallas than he is currently with the Lakers. That's the odd thing about this whole thing.
Well, I mean, like I said, I think Luka succeeds when LeBron leaves. LeBron has to go. I think when LeBron leaves, and it's officially because it's his team, but there's still some there's some pictures still up. LeBron ain't move out yet. There's still some shit up. Like he's your roommate.
He still got a picture of LeBron AD with that bubble championship.
Yeah, like he's still your roommate, and his lease is coming up. His part of the lease, and you're like, hey, he's moving out. I'm gonna get a new roommate, but his shit is still around. But he's not really there. Like he's at his girlfriend's house like every night, but his shit's still there. He's just waiting for his shit to get out. That's kind of what's happening in LA. LeBron is gone, but his shit is still in the house, and you're waiting for him to take his shit out, so it becomes your house, or you get someone new in, or whatever the case may be. I think this is where we are in LA right now. Good question. Is Luka a leader?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't think he had Jason Kidd, and I want to say Redick is
be nice.
Be nice. He's in a position now where he could show that he could possibly lead. I don't think in Dallas he had to be a leader because he had Jason Kidd to rely on. But now, and then he has LeBron lying right now. So, like you said, once LeBron's gone, now he's gonna have to show us if he's a leader or not. And I think he wants to be. I don't know if he is.
That was a non-answer.
Do I think currently he's a leader? No, he is not a leader.
You literally pulled a Trump right there and just didn't answer the question. You said everything else but the actual answer to the question.
Currently constructed, he's not a leader.
Okay. So I'm like, damn, he really didn't answer that question. Oh shit. I want to run back to Alvarado real quick because one of the winners ESPN has is Madison Square Garden has a winner. So obviously Deuce is gone. But you now have Alvarado, you got Coley, you got Shaman, you got Clarkson. Got a lot of guards. Not a lot of forwards, not a lot of size on that bench except Mitch. How good does Alvarado make the Knicks right now? Because I do feel like, and I think I spelled his name wrong in the heading. In this rotation is kind of tough because Shaman's playing really well. I think you got to keep playing Cole because I think Cole's confidence is constantly going up every day. And the game he had against the Lakers in that fourth quarter and the moves he made and the plays he made were awesome. Clarkson, I think, has played his way out, essentially, of the rotation. How should we see a Cole, Alvarado, Shamet rotation off the bench with Mitch and insert random guy here? Because I think that could be is undersized as hell, but I still think that combination, you have the scoring in Shamet, Kolek hits a few shots, Alvarado doesn't need to shoot. Mitch plays the inside, and I think you could have a very interesting bench situation with this team.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And I definitely think he's going to be the most, he's going to be, well, he's homegrown. So he's going to be the most homegrown talent you have in your building since Obi. Again, with a better handle and a better knack of like defense. So like now you could throw someone at Mitchell or Harden, frustrate them a little bit, give Brunson that like 5-minute rest that he's desperately going to need to come in the fourth quarter of playoff game. So I think this is all going to work out. I think now is about hammering out the rotation. You got plenty of time to do that, and we'll see what happens going forward. I like them tomorrow night against Detroit too, by the way.
Well, I think the fact that we've won these games, and like I said, the first few of these games, you're like, okay, they beat Washington, they beat, Portland, big whoop. They beat the Lakers on Sunday Night Basketball, which, first of all, sidebar, very weird to have Sunday Night Basketball at NBC on a Sunday night. It kind of threw me off. How'd you feel about that?
It definitely threw me off, but then I understand what NBC is doing, playoff Sunday Night Football, so I get it. I get it.
But I'm curious to see going forward because, like you said, the rotation is going to be a big thing. I would have liked them to get another forward, get a little bit more size.
But they still have opportunity to do that in the buyout market.
They do. We're going to talk about the buyout market in a second because something very interesting happened this afternoon, and that's going to affect the buyout market. That I want to put. Actually, let's go through it right now. Your Brooklyn Nets. They made a trade. They got nobody. I'm just gonna be honest. The Nets didn't do shit today. They just they got this dude and this dude and this dude and released this dude and cut this dude. But the one dude they did cut and waived was Cam Thomas. They just waived him. They even tried to trade him. They said, "Yeah, we're good. You can go home." So Cam Thomas, who was their leading scorer last year, who scored 50 like twice last year, who can light it up, plays no defense. The Nets just let him go. Where does he go? And I hate to say it because he is a guard. Is that someone the Knicks look at as that's a little more scoring off the bench?
Absolutely not. I think their days of doing business with the Nets are over. Well, he's not with the Nets anymore, but I don't think you want that in the culture. I think he would be. I would like to see him in either Miami or, dare I say, or Houston off the bench.
I can see that. I can see Houston. I can never see a Western Conference team because I think offense.
Yeah,
offense is king over there. They'll love having Cam Thomas.
But
off the bench,
I'm surprised they didn't make a run after Alvarado, considering they need a point guard. But that's a whole other topic.
Cam Thomas off the bench for a team, he would be what Jordan Clarkson should be for the Knicks right now.
Exactly,
because that's what we thought we were getting. Clarkson came in, someone off the bench.
We still might get that with Clarkson. We still might get that with Clarkson.
Have you seen it this year? I haven't seen shit. I've seen nothing from Jordan Clarkson this year. I think that's the problem. I feel like I've been waiting for Clarkson. I was waiting for Yabusele to kick in, and that never did. So like, you can leave. I'm waiting for Clarkson to go on a run where he scores like 15, 20 points a game off the bench, lights it up. His defense is below average. I know it. But he should be in there dropping 10, 15 points in 15 minutes of play. That's what he's been doing his whole career. He comes to New York and averages 9 a game. That's a problem to me. That's a big fucking problem. So
if he wants to play that and come in this down the stretch, he's gonna have to step it up.
how would Golden State? Well, there you go. I just had it. I like Cam with the Warriors. Just there you go. I was about to say that. Thoughts?
We never see Steph upset. We never see him angry at a teammate. This might be the time where he doesn't even stick Draymond on him. He comes at him himself like, listen, it's my team. When I'm open, you pass me the ball. Doesn't mean just because you have the ball doesn't mean you have a license to shoot it every time you get a chance.
I have that license to shoot it. You do not have that license to shoot it.
You do not.
Damn ball. So speaking of Golden State, they made a trade of their own. Kristaps Porzingis goes from Atlanta to Golden State. In exchange, Golden State finally gets rid of Jonathan Kuminga. Does this trade really help them? Because I don't think it really doesn't really move the needle for Golden State right now.
I feel like Kuminga would have been better served staying there until the summer, but it doesn't really move the needle. I mean, KP's he's injury prone. I do like the size. They do get size here, but it doesn't. I feel like they're a playing team again. Once again, the Warriors are a playing team.
Yeah, I get they need size. I get they saw Draymond, even though they were talking about trading Draymond this week. It seemed like,
but he was ready for it. He was.
But you know what's funny? It seemed like the entire week. And I talked about this in the beginning. I want to get your thoughts too, because you weren't here for the start. Giannis just messed the whole week up. Milwaukee messed the whole week up because all these teams just talking to him, going, "Okay, here's what you want. Here's what you got. Okay, you got a counter. Okay, we're gonna counter your counter." And Milwaukee just felt like they didn't have any real desire to make the deal now. And Golden State last night was like, you know what?
We're out.
Good. We'll take KP. Because you're not serious about this deal. You don't want this to happen. But you pivot to Kristaps Porzingis. So your pivot was to an oft-injured forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do they see in him and Draymond playing together? Because that was the draw, essentially. The draw was him and Draymond together could be a dynamic duo to help out Steph. I don't see that.
They probably see good, great rebounders off the board, on the boards between those two guys. But then now that's what's more pressure on Steph because he's your only shooter. It's not like he has Butler because Butler's not coming back. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a Klay Thomas unless you try to.
Buddy Hield got true.
You let Buddy Hield off, yeah. So now that puts more pressure on him.
You got nothing left. You really don't have anything left in this team besides Porzingis when he's healthy, Draymond, who on a good day hits 2 threes, and then Steph, and then a bunch of dudes.
Unless now you're going to play pick and pop with Porzingis and Steph,
which they never play. Like, they don't play pick and pop.
It's very intelligent what they're going to do over there.
So I want to go through their roster real quick because obviously Jimmy Butler's out. So this is who they have. Probably playing minutes. I'm not sure. Maybe my dad in the chat can. Is Seth Curry playing any minutes? Is he just there for the ride, just hang out with Steph, or is he actually playing?
He's just there to hang out with his brother.
Okay, so you got Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton, Moses Moody, Gary Payton II, Przemski, who I think everyone's big on, Porzingis. And they said Gui Sanchez was getting a lot of playing time, but size-wise, you have Santos is 6'7", Porzingis 7'2", Moody 6'5", Horford's obviously 6'8", and that's really it. Size, they're a very small team, and I feel like the small ball thing they did when they won doesn't work anymore.
No,
so I think they're stuck. Kuminga's my guy, but he's still on that. He didn't want to go to the East Coast. We're going to block is that he doesn't go to Atlanta. Well, too bad he's going to Atlanta.
He's in Atlanta.
He has no say in the matter. He's going to Atlanta. Atlanta is a good young team. I think Quinn Snyder, what that team has constructed now, is going to work better than when he had Porzingis, when he had Trae Young, when he had those older guys. I think Quinn Snyder works well with younger teams, not teams with vets who are kind of setting their ways already. So I think it's going to work. And I think Kuminga playing for a coach like Quinn Snyder is like just going to give him the freedom to play and go, it's your ball. go out there and ball. Like, we know you weren't allowed to do what you can do in Golden State. We're gonna let you do what you can do here. And listen, sink or swim. You talked a lot of shit. If you're that good, show us here.
He has a good opportunity here to show out and potentially be an All-Star next year in the East. One more. Why would he not want to go to the East? That doesn't make any sense.
Listen, these young kids with their entitlement, these millennials with their entitlement and their Gen Z shit. I don't know. Right now, to continue to streak, the Nets are down by 22 points. So let's keep that going. 20 point plus losses. So we had 2 in a row. Let's get to 3. No, sorry, 3 in a row because they lost to Detroit, Knicks, Lakers. So they've lost by 20 plus in the last 3 games. Let's keep it up, Brooklyn. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right, down by 22 to the Magic already. Wizards up, Raptors up, Hawks up, and we have the Hornets over the Rockets by 11 in Houston.
Shout out to the Hornets, man. They going for their 8th. They're going for the 8th straight win now too. And I like the addition of Kobe Wade. I think that's the definition of a league team, right? The league pass team right there.
Only a league pass was in 2K. They got rid of that shit real quick.
Yeah, they really did.
Took 1 year and they got rid of that shit. Real quick before we go, I want to talk to you about the Royal Rumble because I have not watched a Saudi Arabia show ever.
And
but they got me this year because the Rumble, and I'm like, I have to watch the Rumble. God damn it, they got me. So I watched it. The Women's Rumble was all right.
I did like the Women's Rumble. I hated them. I hated them chanting overrated for Lashley.
I know. AJ's not retired. I'm convinced of that. He's not retired.
You think he goes back to TNA or AEW?
I think he goes back to TNA. I don't think AEW is even an option. AEW is cool because all of his boys are there and he can have matches with Omega and stuff like that. But I think he's going to TNA. Okay. That men's Rumble sucks. There was nothing remotely interesting about that men's Rumble at all.
Brock Lesnar got eliminated while Jey Uso was yeeting.
Can we? The experiment's over, right? Like Jey Uso's not a main event guy. Like that has already occurred where he's done. Right?
I've never seen someone fall that fast from grace. He's looking like Coco Beware out there.
Damn.
I've never seen someone.
I was like Dusty Rhodes with polka dots, but damn, you went to Coco. Damn. It's just like Oba Femi had a good run and he gets eliminated by Brock. I'm like, well, okay, well, so all the goodwill you were building up for Oba, you just let it go and let Brock eliminate. Brock didn't sell anything he did. They have
a youth problem. I'm starting to I didn't believe it, but I'm starting to see it now because they don't want to pull the trigger on Obi. They don't want to pull the trigger on Braun. I don't know what you're gonna do because like he's about to be 40, Roman's up there, CM Punk's up there, and you look at AEW where all their stars are under 40, on their main star.
What MJF is like 25, 26?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hangman's like 31, 32. Swerve is early 30s. Omega's older, but he's also kind of like he's not the main star. He's kind of in that mix,
right?
But he was also out of the picture for so long because of the surgery, and also because he's like, I don't need to be, I'm not the best bout guy anymore, so I don't need to be all. I don't need all up in the video. I'm good.
I mean, if you think about the Shield run, I mean, if you really think about the Shield, the totality of the Shield, that was more than 10 years ago. As quickly as that fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at I almost called him Ambrose. Holy shit, Moxley. Mm-hmm. Moxley's not the champion. Moxley's like in like some side story that no one really cares about, but they're kind of curious about it. What?
That's what I meant to bring up since we're talking about the Rumble. Did you hear? I don't know how much of it is a work or how much of it was real, but did you hear Roman talk about how
that was real? That was real. I think Roman has a really high opinion of himself. And I think
there's a coup going on where I don't think Triple H will have that job in a year.
Oh, I can see it. You would hear the crowd, and there was Saudi Arabia where I'm like, okay, well the crowd's probably really pro WWE. The crowd turned on him after the show. I'm like, they turned on him here too. holy shit! The crowd, they traded AEW bullshit. I don't know if it was part of like what crowds do, but the Saudi crowd was not respectful at all. Which I was like, that kind of sucks.
Hey, listen, man, we know it's blood money, but hey, don't insult us with a bad show.
Well, listen, my wrestling highlight of the last week was last night watching Dynamite. Brody King versus MJF, and Brody King is a liberal, and I love it because he does not look like a Democrat, but he's a Democrat. Before the match started between him and MJF, the crowd started chanting "fuck ICE." I was like,
"Oh wow!"
Highlight of my week, right there.
Really, it wasn't the pipe bomb by Roman Reigns.
It was not. It was not because the shit he said, Seth said like 3 years ago when CM Punk came back.
And don't forget, it was also the stuff that Moxie said 3 years before that.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. It's kind of like you get it. You left, you came back, you went to competition, blah 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 blah. Well, we get that. We know you left. We know that he left and came back. We got that point. Thanks for bringing that up again. Real quick, are you getting the WWE game?
I'm gonna get it. It looks interesting.
They got me there too because they had the covers and one was like Monday Night Wars. I'm like, oh.
They're clearly getting me for the 150.
Yeah, they got me for the 150. I pre-ordered already. They got me already. I'm like, God damn it. I hate this company. They always get me from shit. Jason, as always, great show, bro.
Likewise.
All right, so we will be back next week. Yeah, I got to double check. I might have a report card night next week, so I might not be able to do the show. I got to double check what date it is. The Tuesday or Thursday. I don't remember. So we'll definitely back next week, either Thursday or another day. We'll put on YouTube and let you guys know when we're back. Bruce was not able to do a show last night. He had work, but he will be back next Wednesday for armchairing. I'm not going to put our shit up because I don't know when the hell we're doing our show next week yet. Live Free and Laugh Hard. This is still up and it's at 860 views. So thanks so much for listening to me and Tom talk shit about Chelsea Handler and Amy Schumer. We appreciate that. Thanks so much. But for Jason, I'm Kahlil. Thanks so much for watching, whether it be live or the replay. We will see you next week at some point. We don't know yet. Peace.
This has been The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Kortner. Subscribe now for the best tri-state area basketball talk.